start over my speech. My name is Phil Dorn. It's a pleasure to meet all of you guys in person. With me is Israel Giles, who is the co-owner and COO of Ani Ramen. The Ani Ramen team is extremely excited to bring a new location for what their successful restaurant to Hudson Eats, which is the food court within Brookfield Place. It's on the second floor. It is among several other eating establishments, a few of which have beer and wine licenses. This is an application for beer and wine only, no hard liquor. There will be no music whatsoever. The only music will be what is being played by the mall itself. The hours of operation are extremely reasonable, which is 8 p.m. weekly, or nightly, because that is what the mall has for them. So this is a very straightforward
I
application.
think that's right.
And,
Yes.
You are right.
Yeah, we agree.
Go while you're ahead.
Some of us,
Karen may have a question, but that's it.
no, I
If you
don't.
could you come closer, please, by the
Sure.
TV, just so we can hear you better through the
Yeah.
audio?
Do I need
Thank
to do it a
you.
third time?
No, we're
No,
done.
no,
I
it's
can't
good.
bear it. I don't think,
Here.
I don't think there's any problem with this whatsoever.
Thank you.
I think we're just fine, and
Thank you.
I will take a straw poll for everybody who's here. We all agree? Okay. Good luck.
All right.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Was it-
Don't go away, Phil.
Okay.
You're not done.
So I have a question though, because we don't have a quorum.
You do not have to do a thing. We will present it at the executive as a resolution. It will be presented at the large board meeting,
In a week.
in a week.
Okay, and
All
then
right.
we will hear from you guys then.
Yes.
Thank you for your time, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
All right. So Phil is here because Max Bookman couldn't make it. So all of you have in front of you 70 Pine Street. And I'd like you to look, Helena is new to this, but 70 Pine has upper floors and downstairs. And this has been very confusing. Hello, Joel. This has been very confusing because I thought this was for the upper floors. And Phil tells me, you correct me if I'm wrong, Phil,
Mhm.
that this application is to expand the downstairs lobby, have a restaurant bar there. They do not have that there. All right, and that's what this is about. It is not the upper floors and the outdoor space, the way I understand
That is
it.
correct.
Am I correct? This is,
Floors 62 through 64 and 66 are mentioned only because you're currently established
We are
there.
currently licensed there.
And to the lower floors is where you'd like to
That
also
is
expand.
absolutely accurate. So, that the licensee who operates in the 60s, 62, 64, and 66, they will be adding space on the lobby and adding an elevator that goes directly from the 60s down to the lobby. And that is to make it a contiguous space, and that is.
There's an
what's being
agenda for
offered.
that.
How many more seats will you have?
It's in the floor plan, which is now over there. Grab it. That's it.
That's okay. Okay.
I'm not exactly sure how many seats are being added. I do want to note that this application has been approved by this board twice already. Because of extenuating circumstances and the global pandemic, the 9 months passed between the approval, so they had to come back. And we came back a second time and more happened, and here we are a third time, so nothing is changing from the two prior approvals.
When do you expect to open?
That I do not have the answer to.
Are there any other eating establishments in the lobby?
Yeah, so that's where the confusion probably came from. There is an additional restaurant at the ground floor. It's Crown Shy. You guys are probably familiar with it. they're somewhat adjacent, but they're not together, they're not touching.
I see.
But they're both on the ground floor of the same building.
But we still need to know how many, hello, Mark, come sit. We still need to know how many, seats are being added, or what is being added. So you, Phil, will have to go back and, at least communicate to us, to Jen, to the office, and tell us how many additional,
Sure. Yeah.
uh, seats. Mark, here you go.
Sorry, I'm late.
That's all. So this is for this one, which we have approved. They're adding a restaurant. And,
They're simply adding space to the downstairs. They operate upstairs in the 60s of the
we
building.
gave them, and we had some restrictions, if I remember correctly, on the outdoor roof space. But we don't have the resolution in front of us.
Yes, he's put them in here.
We did.
Was this the one where we said no to outdoor?
We said something to outdoor, which I can't totally remember. But we gave them some restrictions.
This application does not have anything to do with the outdoor space, though. This is simply an alteration.
This is the downstairs. So I think it's right. I don't want to confuse apples and oranges. But I do want to know how many additional people are going
How
to
many
be.
seats? I
How
might
many
be able to get
seats?
you that information in the next 10 minutes.
Why don't you do that?
Yeah, that's important. We need to know that the actual, not your COVID restriction seating, what your public assembly will be when everything's back to normal.
Of course, and I don't know if you heard, because I don't know if you were here, but this has been approved twice already. We're just coming back because more than 9 months has passed.
The alteration was approved?
Yes.
Yeah.
twice.
Oh, so. okay.
I made them come in. You know, I make everybody.
And there's
come
no
in.
change to
No
the
changes
previous
whatsoever.
alteration?
No, no.
All right.
All right,
So,
please find that out and come back, and then we can
Okay.
take ours to our vote.
Happily.
Gotcha. Okay, that's it.
I hope I can get that for you. I think I should be able to. but-
I don't see the hours here.
So Max sent you into the lines.
Matt, yeah, you sure did.
I don't see the hours. Can you tell me what the hours?
I don't,
Susan, would we apply the new large venue stipulations? Because it says that in May of 2018, it already had 95 seats.
Ah,
We said we were starting with a capacity of 75.
mhm.
Thank you, Mariana.
What's the just page of this box?
95. We have all of our regulations. Let's see what, where did you see?
The 2018 resolution, they had 95 seats at that time.
But let me answer the question.
yeah, I'll let me make a phone call and I'll see if I can get that number for you. I hope I can. I don't know if Max is still in the office.
Where else would he be?
His 1-year-old daughter.
You know he's home. Call something.
He'll definitely pick up.
Yeah, and I don't see what the hours are either. If you're making the phone call, can you get us your projected?
The hours were from 10 to 2.
Oh,
They were from 10 to 2, and we approved it from Sunday to Saturday. We're in a different place now, but I'm not gonna screw around with it.
Thank you.
Even
what's
though I
during
might
the-
like to. Hello?
Hi, here for the
What-
meeting for Poseidon, Chamber Street, 1214.
Well, why don't you sit over there and,
What are the hours, during the week?
this
Whatever
is what it
suits
is, Sunday to Saturday,
Oh,
10
so
to
every day,
2.
every day, okay.
okay? We approved it,
Okay,
all right?
Right.
And it came before the board, this was in 2018, everybody. So
Rings
just
the
go
bell.
tell us how many, will you
Sure.
find that? See
Yeah,
if you
I
can,
will do my
and come
best.
back in. All right, thank you. So let's go back to my,
Where are we?
I'm at Tribeca. I took this gentleman before. We have a renewal for Chipotle at South End. I don't think it's a problem. And we have the people from 124. Is anybody here
We
from?
just walked in.
Okay, there you are. All right. So, yeah, sorry. So this was the issue with 124. Let me remind everybody. There were a number of issues around who was there before. It was Echo, an Italian restaurant. It was very quiet. There was really no problem, all right? We, at the full board meeting, decided to change the hour till a 1 a.m. closing instead of a 2 a.m. closing. Am I correct, sir?
Yes, that is.
All right. And so the owner representative or the owner is here because they don't agree with it. They want to be able to stay till 2 a.m. Now, I have a question for you, and I'd like to, if you would be good enough, when do you intend to open?
Our liquor license, if everything goes through okay, has been submitted to the SLA. We expect to open up around October.
So this is not the same owner as Echo.
No.
Not at all. Okay.
They're, kaput.
Echo is gone.
Finito, I should say.
So,
Um,
the gentleman, would you like to present your case? I mean,
Can you remind us though,
there was a tenant in the building.
so it's but did we approve 2 a.m. every day or initially?
No,
No,
Or just the weekend?
yeah,
And you want 2 a.m. every day?
no. I just want to keep what we talked about in the prior meeting,
Oh,
the virtual meeting we had a few months ago. We weren't aware that it got rolled back in the full board meeting. We were made aware through our attorney Frank Palillo, and then, you asked, if I'd like to come down, obviously, speak to you guys, that's why I'm here. And I just wanted to make sure you guys understand that we're a full-service restaurant. We're not a bar. We're not live music, DJs, none of that. The speaker system that we intend to install is just for background music for restaurants. Our chef, Sam Gasner, has been a chef at some of the best restaurants in New York City. And we intend to really just execute a menu that's going to be a great place to eat. And one of the ideas of why we wanted the later hours is because so many places went out of business during the pandemic. They were open a little later, that there's a little bit of a drought in the hours from 10 to 2 a.m. on the weekends. And that's really why we want to do that. In my other existing restaurants, I'm seeing a very good flow of diners at those times.
which restaurants?
I have the Stand Restaurant and Comedy Club. It's in Manhattan in Union Square on the C4. So
Okay.
it's a little different because it's a comedy club, and obviously people that come see the shows and they'll eat because they're seeing the shows. But what we realize is that there are people out there at night looking for places to eat, and there are far less of those places. And I'm not just talking about Manhattanites everywhere. I'm talking about in different communities that have lost places. For that reason, and for the reasons of we need, as the ability to make as much income as we can from the hours that we are proposing. So for instance, right now, we're closing our kitchen at 1 a.m., but there's diners that are eating after they've ordered and they've been served their food. That's why we want 2 a.m.
you want 2 a.m. what days?
I believe what we had initially spoke about was Thursdays, Friday, and Saturday.
I believe that's correct.
So Tuesday to close, not to suit anybody. I mean, not two a.m.
Yeah, the
close.
last reservations will be in there before 1 a.m. because we want to serve them and give them an opportunity to finish their meal.
Okay,
Let me do this, Karen, first, and then. There is, Echo, who was there before, was a very quiet, there was nothing. This is indoor dining. I want you all to understand that. There is an issue with a tenant who is above you. And that tenant, I understand, and the landlord are at odds with one another.
That's,
All right? You're stuck with this situation. And that tenant came to us, and that's why we responded as we did at the meeting.
Did they voice specific concerns?
They didn't, they were worried. In all fairness, they were just very anxious. They're fighting with their
I
landlord,
did not know that.
and the landlord is not very accessible to them. And so, they made a case to us, and that's why we reduced the hours. Now, as I sit here, and I don't know what the committee feels, my gut was to say to you, and I don't know what the group would think, was to say, give it 6 months. And if there is no trouble, we will give you to 2 a.m., all right? I mean, I don't have any trouble with that, if there's no trouble, or maybe you have to figure out if you could soundproof the friggin' ceiling
Alright,
somehow.
To be honest, I don't think we'll need soundproofing, because we're not gonna be.
I don't
music loud
either,
enough. But,
but,
how about if is there any way I can access the tenant? I feel like I've met the tenant, I've met
No.
several tenants in the building.
No.
To give
that's,
her access to us direct, since she's having trouble speaking to the landlord.
wait, Joe, wait.
Okay.
Put your mask on.
So, wait,
You gotta put your mask on.
Okay.
yeah, I need to step out of my usual role here, okay? If we vote on this, I have to recuse myself because the tenant that we're speaking about is the client of my office, okay? And she was very upset and she came in and the building is an IMD. There's another tenant in the building who shares the anxiety with her. And they interpreted the difference between the echo hours and your projected hours as something that the landlord was using to try to get them out. Okay, so, yeah, I am concerned that she be protected. I'm concerned that, IMD dwellings be preserved generally in the city, in our neighborhood. So I want to be sure that she will be comfortable, living and working in her space. And if you want to communicate with her, you can do that through us, or you can leave a note under her door, inviting her to call you.
So here we are, everybody. It's a dilemma. I mean, it's not a simple situation. So I'm going to ask you so you're going to open in October.
Yeah.
It's holiday time. Go on, Mark.
Maybe, since you and the tenant haven't spoken, and I don't know how
Like
we,
I've met the tenant.
but you haven't addressed
Had
this.
access to us.
You haven't addressed this with the person that's in.
This is the
in
first
question.
time I'm hearing it.
So maybe either through us or however, you guys can meet and see if we can alleviate her fears. Maybe they're unfounded, maybe they're not, we don't know. And
No,
then,
I can tell
and
you
come
they're
back
unfounded.
next month, and then I think we'd have a better grasp, easier decision to make on ours.
I can definitely do that. I
Mm.
think that's a great
Very good.
idea.
Yeah,
We're off next month.
that's right. And
Oh,
she's already
That's-
applied to
I don't
the
think
FLA.
Stop our SLA license anyway, so I can come back in September if you guys want.
I would like that. I think we would
Susan,
like,
they can come to executive in August. Exec will be
all of
meeting.
it before our full board meeting, that would be amazing, but
Yeah, I'm going to try, obviously I'm gonna give you my information. You
Yeah,
can connect with her.
Trade with you.
I'd love for her,
so it's either if we get information before the full board or September.
okay?
Is that acceptable?
yes.
All right.
Okay,
I think that's reasonable. I would like, is everybody okay with that?
and that's not gonna hold you up in any.
Yes.
Jean?
I apologize, my husband's not well and I had to go see him, before I started.
I'm sorry.
So we're tabling this till September, is that?
Well, what we will do is, if there is some resolution before next week, our full board meeting, or whenever it is, we would bring it up. If there isn't, we will wait till September, and he's willing to wait.
July 27th,
Yeah.
July 27th.
Yeah, so what I can do is if we make contact with Ms. Stan,
This is Karen.
She's Pinto.
Yeah,
Ms.
Joe,
Pinto, then we can try to do that if everyone's on the same page
yeah.
next week.
What, Joe?
Are you going to apply for a sidewalk license?
Are you talking about open streets or sidewalk cafe?
I'll get to both. Let's start with the sidewalk.
Yeah, I'm gonna apply to everything I possibly can.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm just telling you right now,
Yeah.
that's going to change. I just had a 5-hour meeting on Monday with land use, with the EDC department. It was a shit show. We have to come back with like 200 answers to questions, because it's the most ill-conceived idea ever. And I wish you guys would have been there, because it was a joke.
With Chambers
We
Street?
asked the question to the ABCs, And I said, if they have a liquor license, I brought it up. Is it going to transition to the sidewalk? And is it going to transition to the street?
Yeah.
And they did not know the answer.
Yeah.
Well,
They
here's,
know, but they're not telling us.
No, they don't know the answer. They haven't thought about it. So here's the question.
Because transportation's been handling it, not the.
Right, went to DOT. So if he's gonna apply for a liquor license, and he thinks he's gonna take that license to the sidewalk at 2 AM and take it to the
Absolutely
street.
not. That's not.
stop, go on. That's all right, go on.
And then take a liquor license to the street at 2 AM, it's a problem.
I
I'm not
understand.
in favor of that.
It's all a problem, but however, I want you all to understand something, okay? Unless the city and all of us figure out something, they're gonna do some of this without us, all right? They're gonna, and I want to be able to control the hours, at least what we can do.
Exactly, and that's why I'm telling you, because when we had the 5-hour meeting with them over the liquor licenses, with DOT, everybody else in the city that was there, they had no idea how this was actually gonna go forward. They just really didn't.
All
They
right.
never thought about it.
All right, but
So,
I understand, but I'm not willing to not deal with his indoor restaurant, Joel, at
no,
this
my
moment.
point was, I'm not going to give him 2 AM. I'm going to give him 1 AM because I know he's gonna be outside.
First of all, can I speak now?
Yes, you
The,
certainly may.
The outdoor open streets
Yeah.
program, the curfew's what?
Yes,
That's number one. Number two, we're not looking to operate outside past 10 o'clock.
most people
are
aren't,
finishing
I know
Their
that.
dinner, the last.
You're not,
I'm not looking to serve people
Alright.
past a certain time.
It's a problem, 1 o'clock.
wait. I want to be very clear. This is not a bar, this is a restaurant we're talking about. This is a reasonably high-end restaurant. So it is not Stone Street, all right, which pisses me off to no end, but that's something else.
That's beneficial.
Stop. We've got skateboarders, so don't even go there. Anyway, I would see if you can come to some resolution and come back to us in September,
Yeah,
all
if
right?
there's any way I can get, if I can meet with her and it happens before the full board meeting.
You'll let us
send
know.
word
You'll
from
call
Frank.
Jen and let us
Thank you,
know,
you guys.
all right?
So the problem with what you're talking about, Joel, is that, the street, is 12 midnight, but then when we, do a sidewalk cafe, we regulate those hours. It can be as early as 10. So they contradict each other. It doesn't make any sense. Plus Chamber Street, people come to us before for sidewalk cafes and they've been denied, not because of the
Because of
congestion.
the size
Yeah,
of
it
the
just,
street.
Well, I don't see a sidewalk cafe there prior to the open.
no,
street.
there
I
aren't.
don't either, and I'm not sure you're ever gonna get a street one because it's a two-way traffic.
Yeah, it's
So,
very, very difficult.
Let
yeah.
us, this is for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Mhm.
Why don't you see what you can do,
I will.
okay?
Thank you.
And one last question, the interior, have you gutted it, or how much you're modifying it?
No, they said
Kind of the
that.
same setup?
We love the interior
All right,
and we're modifying it and we're restoring the old bar that's there.
okay, great,
We're adding a piece for a raw bar, seafood raw bar.
okay, nice.
So it's gonna really, really bring back memories for a lot of people that I know that people in the neighborhood thought of Echo as an institution.
Yeah, it
for
was.
everyone to speak to. So we're trying to keep a little bit of that sense of nostalgia in
Okay.
place. And obviously the menu will be completely different. but
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
you can see that a lot of the restaurant will be intact the way you remember.
All right,
All right, so we're not gonna do a resolution.
Okay.
We're gonna see where we come up, okay?
All right, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
good luck.
All right, Phil, let's get you out of the way here. Come on. And then you.
Number for you.
What?
I don't have a number for you.
All right, how about,
Well, Mary Ann has statement that it's over 75, so you have to start with that right there.
As of 2018, it was 95, according to
What was 95?
the capacity of
occupancy
occupancy.
of the downstairs area.
Early on.
So it would be more now, presumably, right?
Yes,
we don't know.
I can't answer that.
it wouldn't be less.
Yeah.
So why don't you,
So Mariana, what's your question? Is that when we got to slide over to the large venues? Is it over?
Well, not necessarily to come, before and the large venue, but we started with stipulations that were specific to, establishments of that size, with regard to security and sanitation and all of that. So-
Nothing has changed. Not a thing has changed since we were approved.
yeah.
Not once, but twice.
And the question for us is we now have a new system.
Sure.
Phil. And the system is because of where we are and the crowdedness and whatever else, we have determined that large venues are any place that has the capacity for 75 or more people.
Mhm.
And so there are certain stipulations that go along with that. Am I correct? So why don't you see what the capacity is and get back to Jen?
Sure.
Because that's what I need before we're gonna do anything. I don't wanna approve it, I don't wanna not approve it until I understand what the parameters are. It's not in your
Can I
interest.
ask when, you mentioned 2018, is that when you put
That's,
these?
no, that's what I'm reading from here,
Oh.
2018, for the resolution that
Right.
we did pass, that you included in your packet, states that at that time, there was a capacity for 95 people.
Right.
So I'm presuming they're expanding, there's gonna be more people now, and if that's the case, these new stipulations would apply. Well, even at 95, it would apply, because like she said, it's 75, and that comes from the Department of Buildings.
And when did that come into play?
2 months ago?
2 months ago. Okay, so after our most recent approval.
So no matter what, he's gonna have to fall under that purview.
So there's-
Well, there are two issues here. And I am not a lawyer, but Karen, the real issue is we approved this in 2018. We did not approve, did not approve this new part for the lobby.
Yes, no, you did.
We
Both
did.
times it was for the lobby. and
It
both
was
times
for the
it was
lobby.
approved.
So the question that we're stuck with, I think, somewhere along the way, is being grandfathered
Yeah.
in. Okay, I understand that. So come back with the number and let's see what it is, what the capacity is. We have a bit of a dilemma.
Well, I don't think it's as much of a dilemma as.
I'm
as
listening.
that. The law changes very frequently in many areas. It's hardly unique to this. And permits that have not gone into effect, have to get redone.
She's right.
She's right. So, I still want to know the capacity, Phil, and we're not going to vote on this.
Sure, but will it be voted on?
Once I know the capacity, we will try to vote on it. It could be that it's not, you will have new stipulations because of a large venue. So I don't know. You just have to come up with a number and let us know what it is.
Okay, we'll give you a number tomorrow.
Fair enough.
But
I understand, fair enough. Okay?
So Susan, I have a question. If that number's provided tomorrow, right, does that mean there will be a resolution for executive or just
Yes,
plain and simple? Okay.
yes, no matter what, we don't have a quorum tonight. I have to take this to the executive committee. So if it's 75, we're
Or
all
it could
right,
simply be new business at the full board,
or
or old business.
old business,
Might be easier.
old business at the board. But I have to bring it back, I have to, because we have no quorum here. All right? That's it.
all right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. Next up. You, sir.
I know, I wish.
So Pete,
It would have been a lot better than what I'm handing out.
Which address is this one?
275 Church Street,
Chinese gumbo bar.
Chinese Gumbo Bar, and to be named, doing business as is Filet Gumbo Bar. Thank you.
I think there's a Chinese in New Orleans, isn't there?
Is it Tiny's on Church on, West Broadway?
There is a Tiny's, that's why we are not going by that.
I just wondered if you're affiliated with the one in New Orleans.
No, we're not.
I don't know if it's still there, it's a long time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Can I get everything?
Yeah.
My name is Eric McCree. I'm the chef and co-owner of Filet Gumbo Bar. It's a fine dining, Asian Creole restaurant. It is a full-service restaurant. The reason why bar is in the name is we'll have a large granite slab for the bar, and we'll have 9 historic steam kettles lining the bar, and you'll see that'll be our open kitchen, and you'll see where all of our gumbo kettle entrees, gumbo etouffee, shrimp creole, jambalaya, all of that will be prepared tableside at the bar. That's why we have Filet Gumbo Bar. There is a menu. We have about 62 seats, and we will want to have a full bar. It's our bar service is probably going to be only 10% of our sales, so it's definitely a full service restaurant. And we're proposing hours from 9 to 12. From 9 to noon, it's basically just our coffee and beignet service. So we'll have fresh
I love beignets. Go on.
coffee and beignets cooked water right up front.
You've got on your application, it doesn't say 9 though, it says 11.
Does it say 11?
Yes.
Yeah, so,
Well, that's 9 to 12 is what we are
All right, keep going.
wanting, and then 12 to 3 will be lunch service, and then 4 to 12 will be dinner service.
This is the percent that we're in.
Yeah, that is basically the main menu. It's going to be a very small menu. Everything we make is very unique, and most of the ingredients are shipped in from New Orleans. Our andouille sausage, boudin, all of our crawfish shipped once a week. Pick it up from LaGuardia Airport overnight, and so it's a very, very small niche menu.
What's the price of those?
We don't have prices on there. Most of the dishes, per cover charge would probably be about $40.
What's the cross street?
This is,
It's cross streets or Church and White.
Nothing.
I'm sorry, White and Franklin.
That's what I just like.
Yeah, on Church between White and Franklin.
Yeah.
yeah. What was in this space previously?
It was an Italian restaurant. I think it was called Lazo's, something by Lazo's.
So what's next door to you? Maybe I can place it that way.
Next door to the left, well, if you're looking at it to the right is a open gallery that there's nothing in there. And then to the other one is a Japanese restaurant. The name escapes me, but it's Japanese. I'm sorry. It's still open. There's a Japanese restaurant, and right next to it, there's a Japanese bar lounge. And then the next one is like a cafe.
Thank you, my dear.
So where are you in relation to Two Hands?
So that's on the other side of Franklin.
Okay,
So I have one question that Jen, God bless her. You're going to have deliveries till 11 PM. We don't like that.
Okay.
So, it's a real issue for us. Earlier is better. People live there. They live in the building, right?
No one lives in the
The
building?
building, but around,
Sorry.
there are a couple on Church.
Yes, there are a couple of residential buildings on Church, but no one lives in that building.
Okay.
Susan, you're talking
Yeah, there are a
about
number of questions you didn't answer on this
vendor
questionnaire.
deliveries or
Pardon me?
vendor deliveries or takeout? What are you talking about?
Deliveries of supplies and goods.
No, this would just be takeout deliveries. This is not vendor delivery.
Oh, you're doing deliveries until 11.
Ah,
Oh, all right.
Have like,
Well, that's
third-party delivery service.
Yeah, it's not-
oh,
yeah.
okay.
Not
So-
vendor.
Okay, no, we thought you were gonna be receiving.
No,
So
no.
what are those hours, vendor deliveries?
Vendor delivery should be like 9 to 11, 9 to 12
Okay.
The morning,
in the morning, yeah,
okay,
9 to noon.
all right.
And,
And there's a hatch right in the front that everything looks.
Fine. Thank you,
Uh,
Joel.
do you have, are you gonna apply for a sidewalk cafe?
We are going up.
You are. Any DJs,
Really,
No,
you said, you know, you checked. off-
promotion events?
Mark, you checked off no on the
All of
application.
that
I didn't,
should be-
this is all not filled out.
Well, he's got here further licensing. Do you intend to apply
Which
for
sheet is it?
sidewalk cafe?
Mr. Stip.
No.
Is that the
It's a
stipulation?
tip
There was-
sheet.
there was a roof deck.
All right, let me finish then.
Cafe.
Live music,
Live music, no.
all right. Recorded music you're gonna have, right?
I'm sorry, I guess we thought that the stipulation sheet would have been filled out.
It was not.
Right,
Recorded music,
There will be recorded background music, yeah.
dancing,
No dancing,
and you're gonna have like performances or cover fees and this sort of thing. Okay.
just background music.
And the hours are what we have, or what's, I don't know, or which, we're going with these hours,
I
right?
could go with 9 to 12. I think it says 10 to 11 to 12, but I'd like to go 9 to 12. That's what
Which days? Every day?
today, yes.
9,
Just changing this from 9 to 12.
9 to 12 a.m.
Yeah.
Weekends, okay.
I am sorry that sheet was not.
All right, so
Do you have windows?
We just have a front window, yes.
Does it open?
No, it does not, and it will not open.
So just to be clear, your hours of operation from 9 AM to 12 AM, and then food service 11 AM to 12 AM.
No, food,
All of it.
everything is
Okay.
9 a.m. All of it is 9 a.m. Okay,
Okay,
Can you serve bar, but can you serve bar on a weekend at 9 AM?
no, you can't.
No, but we will just have coffee service. The early is just really just coffee and beignets. It's gonna be a really nice cafe type thing. There's not too many places that you can have fresh beignets made to order.
No,
Just kind of like a cafe de vente type.
okay.
can you review this
Will
and
you,
then sign it?
I walk there from my house, I can burn off.
all of us. There you go. And then it goes home.
Yeah, because this has to be, notarized, right?
Now that I know
I
about
don't
it,
have my notary, but I'll notarize
Check.
it. I'll bring my notary to the executive
Yeah.
committee.
So
All
Susan,
right, you'll remind me.
Susan,
What, dear?
everyone that's gonna come before us is gonna ask for sidewalk.
I know.
So
Thank
what
you.
are we doing?
You know, Joe, I wish I knew. I wish I was smart enough to really know. What I think is they're gonna have to come back. And that's why the hours that we set up now, although the sidewalk, the city is midnight, and it depends on who they are and what they are. These are restaurants as well as, I mean, this is
How
clearly
do
a
you-
bar and a restaurant, there's no doubt.
How do you want to handle the notary?
I'm
now
gonna
take it
notarize
with them,
it.
or you're gonna keep?
We're gonna keep it and get it to you, and I'll notarize it. Take it with you.
Thank you very much.
You're very
So-
welcome.
so Susan, the part of this that you don't know is when you made that presentation, the city,
Thank you very much.
there are going to be fees attached. They're going to be charging fees directly to these restaurants. And the city will collect the fees and go into the general fund for sidewalk and street. That's what they're planning on doing. They're planning to use this to
Create revenue, I understand.
a new revenue stream for them, which is not thought out at all. So this thing is like really, they have no idea.
More money,
Get back to us at the end of July.
more money to waste,
Well,
more money.
we're serious in that because, you know, there was a lot of good points that were brought up, like when you have these big cavernous things on the street, and when we have those torrential rains,
Mhm.
what happens is the water doesn't drain. And then you have the floods in the street. There's so many collateral things they didn't think about that were questions that we had. That's why we were there for 5 hours. They said they will come back with these answers and the SLA answers at the end of July.
Are they planning any public hearings?
No,
Well, it's a perfect example of when the government says something is temporary, it never is temporary.
so
Because that's why those shelters were like so shoddy and we get like 50, 60 mile an hour winds, these
wait,
roofs are
so I
falling
asked-
apart.
I'm
I
listening.
asked the agencies and Patrick the question, is that the last two agenda items that was on our agenda we talked about, I said, it sounds like the city is taking more and more power and decision-making away from community boards.
Absolutely.
They're just going by themselves, and so we're losing our input as to how we can control this out-of-control situation. And that's what they're doing, and it's not well thought out. I'm just-
None of us would disagree
Coming
with
down the
you.
pike.
I
Can
know.
we write a resolution asking for public hearings?
Well, I think we should. We'll talk about the executive committee. I think we should. So, could I have a straw vote on this so I know? All in favor?
We're close.
So there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, go to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll all be there for the beignets, don't worry.
The first time you roll. They're gonna take the canoe.
Thank you.
So I should, does anything else I have to do?
No,
with-
we will get this to you. I'm gonna have to notarize it,
Yeah.
and then you take a copy, but we will get you the notarized, all right?
Okay, and then you'll present this,
At the full board, all right?
thank you very much, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Thanks for being such a good sport and sitting through all of this.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Okay, Madame,
Did you do better, Talk City, before that here?
no,
225 Liberty?
Oh, yes.
yes,
Is that?
we did. Sorry, we did that.
What's
Yes.
up?
We now have Farida, 32 Cedar.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What is the address?
32 Cedar, it's in the financial district.
That's next to Pat, right?
Mhm.
No.
No,
Doesn't she own Cedar?
no, Greenwich,
Oh, I
Yeah,
see,
she owns
okay.
Cedar.
no.
What's the question?
I don't know, I have to ask. 32 Cedar is what? Where?
Thank you.
What is the cross street?
Between, William and Kurt.
Where?
William and
William and
Pearl,
Pearl.
it's by us.
Oh, further down.
Where's the next?
Thank you.
We can bring this up, right? They're doing it now.
Oh, I could actually try to bring this,
That'd be great.
He's gonna try.
Jen succeeds. She doesn't try.
hopefully this isn't, change.
Thank you. What restaurant, what's next to you?
Next,
Yeah.
Next to us, across the street, local, cedar barn.
Peter Bar?
Yeah, local cedar house.
Local theater.
Mm-hmm.
Jen's gonna try to bring it up.
What else? I don't know.
On that block, I see Pita, Pita place.
Further up, between the church on the corner, right?
No,
No,
it's
it's not.
on
What's the-
Cedar, between William and Pearl.
That's,
I'm on this
we're
side.
Hanover
Not
Square.
how they're gonna do this.
I'm on this
Just gonna
side,
apply for the,
just, that bar, local cedar, and next to it, Pita.
it's such
place.
a, like 20 feet long.
I don't know that Peter place either.
But she should be around. the corner.
Oh, the place on Cedar, but it's between Pearl and, oh yeah, but you're saying, it's on Cedar between Pearl and William, that's the one near the church.
Yeah.
And they're
Blue-
all-
blue
they're
white
all
shelter. Near Allegheny Victory.
Right, which, case
Yeah,
public,
yeah, yeah,
where the homeless,
Mhm.
in that hotel.
but on Cedar, on that, yeah.
It's between William going towards the water and Pearl. What, there's a little tiny, is there?
Yes, there is little type.
Yeah.
Stairs down.
Yeah. So I have a question for you before we
There's a
start
map-
out.
There's a map in the back.
There's a map. My question to you is, and I just had it, and let's hope I didn't lose it. Your hours are from 11 to 11. And there was something else I wanted to ask. And your capacity is 60 seats. And what kind of food, what kind of,
Okay, I want to, just something.
go right ahead, go on.
It's just something special for you, I love Jennifer.
Listen, I want to give everybody credit. She's going to apply for this tiny street, if you look, sidewalk.
No, no, no.
It'll never
It
happen.
work there.
It'll never work.
She said no sidewalk.
Where?
Says no.
I have wait. I thought it said, let me look.
Sidewalk cafe, no.
Oh, you saw sidewalk cafe
In
now?
section 5, it says yes.
Yes, you gotta look, Jean, because it said yes. I thought hadn't lost my mind. Now I have to find it.
Maybe it's two different answers.
I will apply for open restaurant program if allowed by New York
Right,
City.
yeah.
Further licensing. And our resolution, if we approve this, should say, I will have to tell you that we would say no sidewalk because the public's, the sidewalk can't.
It's too small. You have to close street to street, nobody could, and that's like one of the few, right turns to get onto William.
The sidewalk is too small,
Side, okay.
not, wide enough really for seating.
There is no, sitting there, local.
But if you ask for it,
They put the seating in front of our store,
who does?
local seater, the outdoor sitting area, right in front of our store, closing.
On the sidewalk?
Well, they're not supposed to do that. Even with the open restaurants,
Mhm.
one of the stipulations of the open restaurants law is that your outdoor seating needs to be immediately in front of your own establishment. It's not supposed to be in front of somebody else's, so you could definitely have that taken in or, contact the city if they don't.
Take pictures,
Right in front of our restaurant, closing all the water main.
No, that's not okay.
take pictures.
Just wanted to show you something special we prepared.
Okay.
Oh, looks good.
This is a video, me and my husband. My husband is a chef and I'm operating like a front and managing.
What kind of food is it?
This is Central Asian from the Uzbekistan. Yeah. Oh, that's.
No map, there's no map.
There's no matter.
I know,
No, it's just of the basement. the-
oh, it's
the
a
restaurant.
schematic, oh,
Yeah, yeah,
sorry. I thought it was
No,
street
ma'am.
grid.
I have no problem. Do we have a problem?
Only with the outdoor thing.
Okay,
Just an honorable mention of that,
I think,
tell her.
She wants us to see the video.
I will, then if there is no voice, I will be talking and.
please tell us. Please be our guest.
We are the first and only Central Asian cuisine in Manhattan. We opened our first location in 2018 in 38 and 9th Avenue. Right now we are there. This is me and I'm explaining like what kind of food we have. And this is skewer kebabs on fruit seed wood charcoal. It's like a halal high quality meat. Here I will show you my like a skewer kebab. This is my husband, Chef John. Yes, so here we have all kinds of food, like a starting, like all the soup, all natural from the scratch we make. There is no processed food, no pan, like everything made from the scratch in the house. We import all the spices to make it authentic. So this is John. He's saying how his grandfather teach him all the recipes and now he bring it in US. And since 2018, we're very successful in the town, very popular right now. That's why we came in your area to open like, another location bigger because.
I've eaten at your place at 38th and 9th.
I went there once. I think I was there once, a
When are you gonna open?
couple of years
Yeah,
ago.
sorry,
When are you opening?
we're going to open by August, I hope so.
Sorry, we present near the speaker.
Yes, yes.
All right, other than putting in a whereas about the sidewalk, I don't have any trouble.
Is there a stiff sheet though?
There is, do we have a stick sheet?
I haven't seen it.
All right, I just want to point out a few things. This is beer and wine only?
Yes, beer and wine. We are not focusing on alcohol because we are
What?
focusing on food.
Right. Yeah,
Here.
but I did notice something
Oh,
else.
yeah, we do have it, okay.
On the page where,
Oh,
you
notice
know,
that.
you're within 200 feet
Start
of
from
a
scratch.
school, church, synagogue, et cetera. From the map, it looked like you were within 200 feet of the church.
They gotta be. Yes,
Yes, well, that should be changed.
it says there, no?
It says no, it should say yes.
Yeah, sorry, but I just find out that it was too close, because when I sent this paperwork, we didn't find out yet that time.
So-
Just recently find out.
Do they have to do something else? Does that
Well,
stand?
the SLA is probably gonna call them for a hearing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, there's this 500-foot rule here.
Yeah, the
anyway.
SLA will call them, and we will put it in the stick, we will note it,
Yes,
okay?
yeah.
All right, Mark,
Yeah, we just have to,
all right?
I have to fill this out. This is-
So we're gonna fill this out, you need to fill out the stipulation sheet. And we are, going to add into our resolution about, the 200 foot in terms of the church, as well as that we will not, agree to a sidewalk.
Well, that's fine. We don't
Okay,
have to-
all right, that's all.
Mhm.
Do I have a straw vote for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay, stay here and he'll fill that out for you. You should take a picture of it and I will notarize it
Okay,
at the executive meeting and then we'll get it to you.
Okay.
All right?
thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I think.
I have a new business.
Oh, Mark, that's
Sorry,
in your
guys.
business. So
Yeah.
before we let Mark finish this out, I think, and I don't know the answer, Joel, but it certainly disturbs me tremendously where we are in all of this. I don't think there's any of us that don't agree that and I don't know, other than to bring a suit as community boards or something, I don't know what our rights are any longer,
That's right.
right?
Have we reached out to other community boards? They must be in the same.
Well, I think that at the executive, and we'd asked Tammy to talk about it at the regular board
What's
meeting.
happening is they're doing a dog and pony show with every single community board.
How's that?
After the community board one, so they have another meeting with different community boards. They get all the community boards with the macaque.
Yeah. I did.
But I mean, but by doing it separately, they're dividing them.
Well, I told Tammy, every single question we had on Monday's meeting, please forward that to all the district chairs.
Mhm.
She said she would.
All right, while Mark is doing the step, will you all go through all the, I went through them, the renewals, if there are any questions on financial,
I had a question about 55 Stone Street.
yeah,
Fowler. Don't they usually come with the whole group?
No, I didn't-
I didn't
didn't
ask them to.
No, I'm not saying it's a problem, I'm just saying, don't they usually,
Check the meetings.
Yes.
And
don't they all come together?
Oh, you mean the whole Stone Street group?
Or are they separated?
I don't know.
I mean, if they're applying for renewal, then that means that, you know, depending on when they actually applied for a liquor license. I mean, I haven't been here for a long time, so I'm not sure when was the last.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't do the same thing.
Right.
What we do is we try to get all of them to attend at once so they understand what our expectations are.
I see,
We could give them a call.
sure.
Susan,
I haven't
they
received
were
any.
in our meeting.
They were, yeah, all right. We'll give them a call and ask, but I don't think there's anything that's egregious on any of these.
I had one question.
Yeah,
I noticed 396 Broadway is up for renewal. Has anything at all come in regarding 396?
Is that on?
The hotel, it's the top of the hotel
Should notarize it and then
that
get
I'm
your-
concerned about. They have other bars, I mean, that's not the only place.
We're-
Bring it. 396, it's the first renewal under.
No, where is 396?
Oh, it's on
Absolutely.
Walker and Broadway, on the east side of the street.
Street, yeah.
Yeah, nothing has come into the
No.
office concerning that. Okay, I mean, I walk by at night, I haven't heard anything myself.
No. All right,
Yeah,
okay, Mark has some,
Okay. This is,
new business.
yeah.
Thank you, and good luck. We'll
A
see
couple of
you.
these is to put on the radar, give me 1 second. All right, up in my neck of the woods, Greenwich Street Tavern, has been kind of taking advantage of the midnight, curfew for the outdoors. And also leaving, they have nice, really French doors, they'll leave them open as well. I spoke to the owner a couple of times, because I live over around there, I get the call, because everyone thinks I'm on the community board, I can ring the magic wand. So I spoke to him a few times, he's a nice guy, you know, but then he started with, I was closed 7 months. I know everyone else was, and they're closed, but they're closed on time, you know, very loud and rowdy sometimes over there. So we're still dealing with that. That's a FYI on that. Now, the big one is, WeWork. Remember WeWork back in the day, right? 53 Beach Street.
Mhm.
And they had a huge, party for some gallery thing that was an absolute nightmare. It had, I'd say 4 or 5 police squad cars there. The Captain Smith came. They don't have a liquor license. I don't know if Jenny, if you can check to see if they happen to get a 1-day permit that day, just to be sure.
So
Yeah.
they have a bunch of like licensing units.
Right.
And my request has been forwarded to the.
Okay.
permit.
Okay,
I give them a call, but they're not accessible through phone. They just
Okay.
go- Yeah.
okay.
Interesting.
But I don't think they had it.
I think, Mark, also, if they were selling the liquor, even if they had a 24-hour license, that they would have to do it through like tickets, like you have to buy
Mm.
tickets,
Mhm.
and then you hand them your ticket for the drink, but they're not allowed to sell directly,
Mhm.
exchange cash. for
It was
alcohol
probably
If
free.
they don't have a real liquor
It was
license.
probably free. I think it was free.
Okay.
Yeah.
maybe there was a charge at the door.
I don't think there was a charge. I just think it was an invite. So the quick history of this is when they renovated the building, it used to be a Montessori school. Massive violations of after hours and crane construction without permits, and they just didn't care about getting fined. I spoke to a couple of guys on the side who they said, well, you know, you're gonna get like a $5,000 fine, you don't have a permit. Okay, we're getting reimbursed. That was when WeWork, you know, was whatever, $5 billion company, and they just didn't care. They wanted to get done, so.
Now,
And this was right after the crane accident in Worth Street. So we had that nightmare. Then they came to apply for a liquor license, and then we brought up that was it their facilities, they give you free beer. It's free. And there were apparently a couple of sexual assaults at some other locations. So I guess they didn't want the heat, so they withdrew their application. This is like 2018, like early
That's what
19,
Jeff said.
somewhere
Yeah,
around
yeah,
then.
yeah.
Yeah, they did have one party, and it was like in 2019, which was a huge problem. Was different personnel at that time, and they said it would never happen again. And it happened again on June 25th.
Part of you were just.
Yeah, yeah. For some reason, I can't get this video to go over somewhere else. It's about a little less than 3 minutes, but I've sent several other videos to the community board, this will be taken up to Mark Quality Life, and you'll be able to view those videos over. But like the Mocha Greases video, of course, I can't transfer. So I don't know how much you can see of it, but I'll just play it and maybe you can peek in.
So
Yeah.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
you can hear it. So the real question for us, Mark,
Mm.
is what is our power around here?
Mhm.
What can we do to prevent these 1-day occurrences or whatever?
Mhm.
We can't, it is unless,
Yeah, it's just, you know, and, oh, the other thing they did was they closed off Collister Street, the alley there, and started a barbecue. And then so my neighbors are going down there and they had security that said you can't come down there, it's a private party. They were jumping on people's cars. One neighbor across the street has like a brand new, one of those Porsche, SUV things that they just invented. So, one guy comes out with a megaphone and then they started yelling at the police, so, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can, when you see it, it's just, there were hundreds of people, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in the street. I mean, they finally came, two cars come, and they saw what was going on, and the two cops said, we can't handle this alone. They called several others, and that's when the Captain Smith showed up and Lieutenant, showed up. And they handled it, but these people were just, completely belligerent,
You were lucky,
yeah. They were
because the
totally
police
belligerent.
aren't showing up.
Yeah, they were pissed, and then they asked, this is the kicker, they asked for the, documentation that they had to serve liquor. And the two people that were involved, apparently, running this thing, immediately closed the door and locked it, and they wouldn't provide it. So that means they didn't have.
So the question for all, there are numbers of questions, and I think it's with our new council person, because our current council person is definitely not interested in any of this, you should pardon me, is that we have to make some demands of the police. I don't think there's any other way to be accountable for, I mean, we suffer at Stone Street, and it's not even the restaurants. They have all of these meet and greets, and it's people coming from all outside of our area and coming downtown because it's accessible from all the boroughs, and just, it's like marauders. It's unbelievable.
Yep. And the thing with WeWork was like, for the last year, there's been issues with their trash being collected. There really isn't anyone there, so I don't know where it comes from. So they send a work crew in there, there's trash, and it's on the sidewalk 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So I was in contact with the liaisons, and they were actually very receptive. They haven't been able to really figure out why they did. It's like next week, always seeing the community board on it. And it's there 5 days, it's there 6 days, we're sorry. But when this thing happened, their tune kind of changed. They went silent, and as far as I know, they've been invited to come to the meeting tomorrow. I know Lucian's is paying
Never got an answer.
for a week, and as far as I know, they've not responded.
Which we-
Right?
Did you get on,
Quality of life.
did you get them ticketed and maybe fined?
Well, that was the whole, I really wanted to find out, they were,
Tried,
they
I
were
don't
gonna
know.
arrest, one of the, because he was really belligerent, the organizer, they were gonna arrest him because he wasn't gonna show his ID, he was being really belligerent, they asked for the documentation, and, it almost was.
Even the
Almost
closing of
was.
the street.
Yeah.
is illegal.
Yeah, I have video of that you can see.
Any of you who can, go to Quality of Life tomorrow. And Lucian wanted us to meet in August, and I said no. We will meet in September. I'm sorry, we're not meeting in August. I know, G, you would be very upset. We'll meet, no.
You don't have to let other people.
When anyone that wants the videos, let me know, just email me and I'll send
I'm
them.
gonna help Jen go downstairs. Welcome, Helena. That is
Yeah.
Dean Grillo
I asked him,
Aaron, and Keith.
I asked him to provide the videos for the meeting tomorrow, he said yes, that I sent them, so I hope he has all of them.
Come on, Jen. What?
No, ma'am.
I adjourned the
No,
meeting.
they don't have one.
I adjourned. I'm gonna help you downstairs.
Thank you for coming.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
What other community